What's up, YouTube? Timus here. Now, here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turns 10, 20, and 30 this week. Alright, the films celebrating their 10th anniversary. Not the first film, but its long way sequel, and that's, of course, The Best Man Holiday, which was the follow-up to 1999's film The Best Man. It was a long way sequel, too. This is probably a sequel they probably should have made, I don't know, 5 years, years before. But it was a really decent, charming sequel. Of course, you had, it takes place like nearly 15 years after they were last together as a group, and of course got the college friends who reunite over the Christmas holidays, and though much has changed in their lives. The friends discover just how easy it is for long forgotten rivalries and passionate romances to reunite to here. And of course, you do got the returning cast members like Morris Chestnut, Taye Diggs, Regina Hall, Terrence Howard, Sanaa Lathan, Nia Long, Harold Perrineau, and Monica Calhoun, all reprising their roles here, as well as Melissa Sosa and all. Of course, you had like Malcolm D. Lee, who would go on to direct um, Girls Trip, and he'll also go on to direct Space Jam: New Legacy. I really quite like the sequel. Even though the first film states, I might prefer the sequel over the first film. Of course, they did do a TV show, which wasn't bad either. So, yeah, this is a really decent, charming follow-up. Of course, the ending will, for fans of the original, the ending will definitely leave you tears too. So, if you guys never really seen The Best Man Holiday, I say give it a go. It's a really decent, cute, charming flick worth checking out. All right. Now, also turning 10. Of course, I did my review for this just recent. And that is Alexander Payne's Nebraska. Of course, I was doing my reviews for Alexander Payne films, and this was one of the films I did my review for. Now, this, of course, stars Bruce Dern, as well as Will Forte, Bob Odenkirk, and June Squibb. It is shot in black and white, and the story follows an elderly Montana's resident and his son as they try to claim $1 million sweepstake prize on a long trip to Nebraska. And this is a terrific film. Of course, Alexander Payne, coming off of the Descendants, he did a great job with this film. Bruce Dern was great. I mean, obviously he's a living legend. June Squibb, actually, both June Squibb and Bruce Dern both got Oscar nominations for this. I believe this also got nominated for Best Picture, Best Director. Well deserving. It's a really magnificent film if you guys never seen it. And also turning 10 is probably a film that not many people even heard of, called Charlie Countryman. But I actually did watch this one in theaters back in 2013. It stars Shia LaBeouf as well as the likes of Evan Rachel Wood, Rupert Grint, Aubrey Plaza, and Mads Mikkelsen. It takes place in Ramona, where an American journalist, played by Shia LaBeouf, falls for a strange wife, played by Evan Rachel Wood, of a brutal gangster, played by Mads Mikkelsen. And Mads Mikkelsen was terrific in this. Shia LaBeouf and Evan Rachel Wood both had really decent chemistry too. I like the scenery it was in. The cinematography is really good. Very underrated little film if you guys never seen it. I mean, Shia LaBeouf, I've always said this tons of times. Let's be real. He's a little bit of a nut job, but he is a terrific actor. And whenever he's on screen, he knows how to nail it. And this is one of the it's not like his best work, nothing, but this is definitely one of his best performances he's put out. All right, the film's turning 20 this week. Oh boy. We of course got Looney Tunes back in action. Of course, a CGI live action hybrid, which pretty much parodies action and spy films conventions, and follows Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck as they become intertwined in plot by the Acme chairman, played by Steve Martin, to transform the world's population into subservient monkeys using the blue monkey diamond. They are accompanied by stuntman DJ Drake, played by Brendan Fraser, and Warner Bros. Executive Kay Helton, played by Jenna Elfman, on their journey to thwart the chairman's plot, which doubles as a mission to rescue the former's abducted father, Damien, played by Timothy Dalton. And he also has some fun cameos too by the likes of Matthew Lillard. Like if you want to see Matthew Lillard interact with Shaggy, that's pretty funny to watch. Of course, you had Joan Cusack was also in this. It's nowhere near as good as let's say Space Jam or anything. And I know this movie did not really get much love at all. I adored it though. I always just love the Looney Tunes. Who doesn't love Looney Tunes at all? I'm still very disappointed what Warner Bros. Did with the Coyote versus Acme film, but hopefully something like Amazon or someone picks that up. But hey, we do need more Looney Tunes in our lives. The Looney Tunes are just so iconic, you know. And seeing, of course, like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck pretty much pair off with Brendan Fraser, of course, who will go on to win an Oscar for The Whale. Brendan Fraser is pretty fun in this. A really cool scene like other one of those characters too, like the aforementioned Scooby Doo and Shaggy. Other Elmer Fudd, it's of course we had Sylvester Tweety popping up in this. Of course, you had a fun cameo by Micah Jordan, which I thought was really fun too. Who just did not like? It's a shame it did not get much love, but I still adore this one. It's just a really fun childhood favorite of mine. So, yeah, if you guys never really seen Looney Tunes back in action, do yourself a favor. I believe you can find it on Max. Give it a watch. It's a really fun one. All right. Also turning 20, we got Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, directed by Peter Weir, who of course gave us The Truman Show. It starred the likes of Russell Crowe, as well as Paul Bettany, and the film's plot and characters are adapted from 3 novels in author Patrick O'Brien's Aubrey Martin series, which includes 20 completed novels of Jack Aubrey's novel character. The film stars Russell Crowe as Aubrey, captain in the Royal Navy, and Paul Bettany as Dr. Stephen Martin, the ship's surgeon. Now, this was, of course, pretty much a reunion of sorts because both Bettany and Crowe were in A Beautiful Mind together. I believe this movie actually scored a nomination for Best Picture, if I'm not mistaken. It's an okay film. Russell Crowe's pretty decent. It is like the performances by Paul Bettany's great. Who else was in this? It's been a while since Master Commander cast. You also had Billy Boyd from, of course, aka Glenn and Glenn from Sea of Chucky. He even was in this. You had, very young Joseph Morgan before, Vampire Diaries fame. The visuals in this was pretty stunning. Yeah, of course, they got nominated for Best Pitch at the Oscars, which it was an okay film. I never really thought it was like a Best Pitch quality, but hey, it's of course it did not win that year, but it's still a pretty decent film worth checking out. So if you guys haven't really seen it, you can find it. Not sure we can find nowadays. You can mostly find it on Tubi, but it's a pretty decent flick. All right, also turning 20, we got Tupac Resurrection, which is, of course, the documentary film about the life and death of rapper Tupac Shakur. The film was directed by Lauren Lezen and is narrated by Tupac himself. The film was released all the way back in November. And it was actually pretty much one of the highest grossing documentaries there is, and was even nominated for best documentary at the Oscar too. Well deserved there. It's a really terrific doc. Of course, I've always loved Tupac, and this was a really decent documentary of who he was as as a performer and a person. It really examined the life of him, and it's a really intriguing one. Of course, there's been other Tupac-based documentaries too, or even films as well. Whether you talk on the film side, there is of course All Eyes on Me, which wasn't so bad. There's also Tupac and Biggie, which is a pretty good one too. But this one is really all about Tupac, and it's a really decent one worth checking out. believe it or not, Tupac is supposed to be getting a Grammy, like years after his death, which that's really cool. But yeah, Tupac is just he was an icon in the rap genre. Like, listen, bro, people nowadays wishes they were Tupac. Like I feel if Tupac was alive, he'll be disappointed about some of the rap going on nowadays. But hey, no one could just imitate Tupac. Like Tupac just was a legend. Now, another film turning 20, we got the comedy film The Big Empty, which starred John Farrow as a struggling actor with a bizarre request from his neighbor to deliver a suitcase that he cannot open. While there, he meets an unusual cast of characters and starts to think this delivery might be more than it seems. Besides John Favreau, who did not direct this, it was directed by Steve Anderson, but other cast members include Sean Bean, Kelsey Grammer, Rachel Lee Cook, Daryl Hannah, Joey Lauren Adams, who you might remember from Chasing Amy fame. And it was like, of course, John Favreau at the time. Obviously, nowadays when we think of John Favreau, we always think of him bringing like Iron Man together, like pretty much the MCU together, technically, the Jungle Book, the Lion King. But back then, he did obviously start a lot of interesting stuff, from the likes of Rudy to Swingers. Of course, he directed Elf that same year as well. And this was actually a really interesting little film. It's not a great film, but it's pretty decent, pretty fun. And if you guys haven't seen it, give that one a go. All right, films turning 30 this week. Not its first film, but its sequel, and that and that is Addams Family Values. Once again directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. Featuring the returning cast members like Angelica Houston as Morticia Addams, Raul Juliet, one of his final film, Sally, Christopher Lloyd, Christina Ricci all coming in. You even had Joan Cusack appearing as a Debbie Jelinski, who plays like a serial killer who marries Fester Addams, played by Lloyd, which is pretty fun. Now, she actually pretty much plays like the serial killer who marries Fester Addams, intending to murder him for his like adherence, while teenagers Wednesday and Pugsley are sent to like summer camp. Was nowhere near as good as the first Addams Family live action from like 1991, I think it was. It definitely still has values. It's still really fun. Like, but whenever we think of Addams Family now, we obviously think of Netflix's Wednesday, which isn't so bad. But hey, you can still never go wrong with the first two Addams Family live action. They are just really, they hold like an entertainment value and like a nostalgia value there, and the scenes between like Joan Cusack and Christopher Lloyd always cracks me up. So yeah, if you guys haven't really seen Addams Family Value, give that one a go. Not all of. Also turning 30, we got the dog horror film called Man's Best Friend, which was directed by John LaFayette, who directed Child's Play 2. You also got the likes of 80s icon Ali Sheedy, along with Lance Henriksen, John Cassini, Frederick Lane. And the film is here's what the film's about. A television personality frees a Tableton mouse slave from a gigantic research facility and proceeds to adopt the dog as a pet. And she fails to realize that her dog is a project genetic engineer. And of course, the dog has like a burst of violence. Now, of course, obviously at the time there was, an iconic dog horror film before, and that was obviously the 1980s one, Cujo. So obviously they were trying to capitalize the success on Cujo and give us another creepy talking dog film. And while it's nowhere near as good as Cujo or even as good as Child's Play 2, which is definitely my favorite out of the Chucky films, I still quite had a fun time with it. Like some of the kills is pretty fun. Ali Sheedy appearing in this is really cool to see. Like, of course, obviously she's an 80s icon with stuff like Short Circuit, Breakfast Club. So she's always cool to see on screen. So yeah, this is a really decent film worth checking out. It's a really fun, nice horror flick. Like, who does not love seeing dogs attack? Come on, there's of course The Breed, which is pretty decent too. So yeah, who does not love a good dog horror film? But that's pretty much it there. Let me lead you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? To me, the 10-year one, even though Best Man Holiday is pretty good, I gotta go with Nebraska. That is a really terrific one. The 20-year one, sorry Russell Crowe, even sorry Tupac. Like I said, Looney Tunes back in action. That one kind of holds that, like, stands out to me a little bit there because I just love Looney Tunes. Come on, what can I say? And the dirty one, I'm gonna go with, of course, Addams Family Value. I could have gone with Man's Best Friend because, hey, from the director of Child's Play 2, that's always a given. But Addams Family 2 is actually the better film on that list. But anyway, drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simon Saya.